chance at all. And we recommend, seriously, 6 months to a year. And there's reasons for it. You weren't here last night, you may reject it, fine. You know, it's you that's going to be skin and bones, not me. Fuel, forget it. No way to store it really anyway. All you need medical supplies, you need food, you need weapons to hunt and defend, and you can't do that job with the same gun. You can't defend yourself with a hunting rifle. It's impossible. Not against the way that it's going to be with the weapons they're going to be using against you. But I'll tell you this, you can survive in your home for a little bit, but unless you're a member of a Christian retreat or can get one, you'll never make it. Not unless the Lord comes 3 days after it starts, and I don't believe He will. Now, we're not talking about the tribulation. We're talking about all the days leading up to it. You're not going to have a tribulation as bad as it's going to be unless you're going to have some trouble first. Besides, every country in the world has it except America, and I don't see America's Christian life any better than any other communist country. Okay, I'll make everybody happy. We'll stop on that for a while. If you want, you can follow up on those things and you'll learn all you need. Is Pope Paul and the Catholic Church involved in the Illuminati? I'm a Catholic. Why did you ask me a question that you're not going to like the answer to? Yes, he is. As one person put it, I got to keep his name quiet so he can stay alive. He was a very big Catholic, and he goes, it's very frightening when you think that the Pope leads your church and he tells you that he takes people's orders from London and other places in Brussels that aren't even Catholics that are into the occult. And some things about Pope Paul, I don't expect him to live much longer. I'm expecting really his replacement to be the Catholic cardinal that leads the charismatic movement. They've already proclaimed him to be the next pope. He lost to Pope Paul by 2 votes anyway. But the thing here is that Pope Paul is the man who told the Catholic Church, and if you haven't heard it, it's so anyway, that it was all right to practice white witchcraft, but it wasn't contrary to Catholic doctrine. Well, I can agree to that. It isn't contrary to Catholic doctrine. Yes, he's part of the Illuminati. The whole Congress of Cardinals are. If you get to a retreat, why won't you be found there, and what can folks do who don't have access to a retreat? All right. 2 months ago, I could have said that's so that you don't have access to a retreat. That is not so any longer. If you want part of a retreat, you can be part of a retreat. For one, Freedom Ranch will take everybody that gets to be the size of New York City. We'll just pray for the whole state instead of part of it. But all I can tell you is, how many people here own a home? Own a home. You have no excuse that you're not part of a retreat. Now, if you don't believe in it, fine. Then you can just disregard my words. But if you believe that the necessity of being prepared for the end times is real, then here's what you do. Tomorrow, not 60 days from now, you put your home up for sale. You may not like it, but you do it anyway. I did it, and most everybody else has done it. Put your home up for sale, you move into apartments, and you build yourself a home on a retreat, period. The land is free. Almost all retreat lands are free. All you have to do is build a home. Now, the rest of you who don't, most of the retreats have buildings where you can live, and you can always get the saw out and the axe, and I know that every one of them is in the pine country, in the states that have it. You can always build your own. Your ancestors did. It won't be comfortable, like you think of comfort. I mean, you won't be able to watch Starsky and Hutch, but you'll have a lot of time to read the Word. Why won't you be found? You will be. You will be found. The Illuminati and the federal government themselves within the United States knows where every retreat is. But you won't have to worry about the government or the Illuminati trying per se to come and get you. They'll be too busy fighting their own battles in the city. But there will be looting. That's the reason for retreat. That's the only reason for retreat. The world will go mad before Jesus comes. And you will not be able to survive in the city at that time, because the demons will direct the people and the looters to your doorstep before they'll send them anyplace else. So, while you're standing there rebuking them and expecting them to fall over, I'll be using a shotgun, because I want my family to live. A lot of people shaking their hands. That doesn't sound Christian. That's fine. You haven't had anybody shoot at you yet. You have not had anybody shoot at you. I've got 3 kids and a wife, and I've had people try to shotgun them to death, blow them up, machine gun them, knife them, poison them, and everything else. I love my family. I'm not going to let my family die. Now, which is murder? Letting somebody kill them or defending them? So stop shaking your head at me. I'll bow my head and pray a prayer for you when they put you under. See, I talk bold about this because I have to live with it, and it's coming to your doorstep. Everybody taps me on the back and says, "Oh, Brother Todd, I feel so sorry for you. All these people trying to kill you." I said, "Don't feel sorry for me. I feel sorry for you. At least I'm prepared for what's coming." And I am, too. One of the two main reasons I'm alive is that God keeps me alive through His warnings and my preparedness. And they cannot do anything to you when you're prepared. But the idea of the retreats are they're all in locales that can be defended, and they're almost impregnable. And believe it or not, the more people there, the better it is. Okay? Get off this retreat now. I don't know who wrote this, J. Howe, but I love whoever it was. Larry Flint, was he a true convert by Ruth Carter Stapleton?
Well, correct.
Don't you like that question? I love it. Yes, he was a true convert by Ruth Carter Stapleton.
Yes, he was.
He sure was. But then Ruth is probably the most powerful witch that I ever met. I used to study under her. Yeah!
Turn it on next Sunday now.
Okay. What is the involvement of the Illuminati? They've got a CRR, and then they write it out, Council of Foreign Relations, at CFR, and the Trilateral Commission, and the Rockefellers. Whoever wrote this wasn't here last night, right? Right, okay. I was going to say. That's what we talked about last night. The CFR is the name of the Illuminati in the United States. David Rockefeller is the second most powerful man in the Illuminati. He runs the Council of Foreign Relations. And the Trilateral Commission is the United States version of the European Common Market. And most people don't realize that America is a member of the European Common Market through the Trilateral Council. And that the Trilateral Commission, or not Council, Commission, is the brain center of the CFR. And our born-again Christian president is a member of it. You just have to let me read some of these in a minute. Oh, yeah. The John Birch Society has exposed the Council of Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, the Illuminati, and many parts of the world conspiracy. Why do you have it listed as a hate group? Gary Allen, author of the books you mentioned, is associated with the John Birch Society. And that's not much saying much for the Birch Society, since Gary Allen has said across the country that the problem with America is the fundamental church. I'm going to say this again. Took some time on this last night. I think that a group that gives half-truths is worse than a group that is totally ignorant. It is a hate group because it is anti-Semitic. Its platform and the American Nazi platform and the Klan's platform are almost identical. And I have them listed together as part of the Illuminati, not by guesswork, but because I used to have to hand checks to the leaders of the Birch Society. The Birch Society is just like the Masons and many other groups. The poor innocent people vote in them, and that work with them and so on know nothing of their leaders above it. That's why we say over and over, have nothing to do with a group that you don't know 100% about. And when a group tells me they're good and they have secrecy, I say, why if you're good? You only need secrecy if you're bad. That's why I have men that know everything that I do 24 hours a day, and they know everything about my ministry since I've been saved. But when accusations come up, these people will go and do the defending for me. I will say this. They say parts, but then they add. They mention these, but they make the head of the Illuminati the Rockefellers, and the Rockefellers are not the head of the Illuminati. Second, they make it a Zionist conspiracy. It is not I'm not a Jew. Nothing wrong with being a Jew, but I'm not. And not one member on the Grand Druid Council is a Jew, and not one member on the Council of 33 is a Jew, and only about 8 people on the Council of 500, the Bilderbergers, are Jews. They say, well, the Rothschilds are Jews. So what? They may have been Jews a long time ago, but they are not Jews now. They believe Lucifer is